Welcome back. All right, round two, part two of the combining integers lecture. As you can see, this one's about multiplying and dividing. So let's start with multiplying and dividing. We can use both of the same type of models that we used before. So let's start with a simple multiplication problem. Let's start with the problem 2 times 3. So let's start by numbering. This is all positives, so I want you to see how the model works before we get into a multiplication problem. So I'm numbering it all the way out, and let's start with the problem. So here's what I know. I know my sections are going to be 2 in size. So one section goes from 0 to 2. I also now know that there are 3 sections. So I'm going to have the sections of 2 3 times. So there's 1, now 2, and 3. And of course the answer, as you know, is 6. So let's go to one involving a negative. Now the only time you're going to be asked to model these is going to be set up this way. It's going to be set up as a negative number in front. So let's do negative 2 times 4. So let's start by setting this up. I'm going to put my 0 here. You'll see why in a second. And then I'm going to number backwards. 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, and negative 9. So based on what we just saw in the previous problem, what is the size of our hops, what we're going to call our hops? Right, they are negative 2 in size. So one hop is going to be negative 2 in size. Now, how many hops are there going to be? Just like in the previous one, this tells you how many hops, so there are going to be 4 total hops. So we have 1, now 2, now 3, now 4. So negative 2 times 4 is equal to negative 8. So far, so good? Alright, let's try a division problem. We're going to try a negative 6 divided by 2. Negative 6 divided by 2. So again, I'm going to start this way. Six, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, and it goes on forever. So now, our hop is negative 6 in size. So it's going to be everything from here all the way to 0. This is its size. Now we're going to divide that hop into 2 sections. A couple ways of going about this. The pretty obvious one is we just count halfway in and mark the line there. But what if this was a 3 or a 4 or a 7 or a 13? Here's how I recommend you do it. You want to number off at the top each of the sections here until you get to your ending point, which would be 0. So I have 1, 2. Once you get to the number you have, you start over and number again. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, how many 2's do you have? I have 1, 2, 3 2's. Now, but what's their value? This 3 sections. They're all in what? Negatives. So my answer is going to be negative. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Now, I hope you've noticed something at this point. There's really no difference between normal multiplication and division and multiplication and division with integers. The only difference is with their signs. So let me give you a big problem. Negative 14 divided by negative 7. Here's how you do these problems. Step 1. Forget about the signs. Each of these numbers has a sign. Don't worry about it right now. Step 2. Do the math. What is 14 divided by 7? It's 2. It's always been 2. It will always be 2. Step 3. Now worry about the signs. Here's how you worry about the signs. Circle them. One there, one there. If this was blank, it would be what? Right, positive. So you would have a positive and a negative. If you remember from the last video, we used this nice little angry triangle guy. Mad triangle. You use it again here. If you see a sign, you scratch it out. If you see a sign, you scratch it out. And what you're left with is the sign of the answer. It's a positive 2. So a negative 14 divided by a negative 7 is a positive 2. But think about it. If I had 14 negative counters, let's go back and do this problem again. Get rid of all this here, or most of it at least. Let's do this problem again. Let's say I had 14 negative counters. I'll put them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I'm trying to divide them into groups that are negative 7 in size. So 7 negatives in each group. That can be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many groups are there? 2. The groups are 2. Let's try a different problem that'll have a little bit different response though. Let's try this time 12 divided by negative 4. Now let's don't bother with the model this time. We have 12. What's 12 divided by 4? Remember, forget about the sign right now. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Right. What's next? We've done the math. We forgot about the signs. We've done the math. What's next? Now worry about the signs. There's no sign here, so what is it? Right, it's positive. Now draw your mad triangle guy and mark off what you see. There's a positive, scratch it out. There's a negative, scratch it out. What's left? A negative, so your answer is negative 3. The math's the same. Just wait to the end to do it. This also works with multiplication. So let's say we have the problem negative 4 times negative 4. Step 1, forget about the signs. Now step 2, do the math. What's 4 times 4? 16. Then, third step, now worry about the signs. Circle them. There they are. Mad triangle dude. Negative, negative, positive. I have a negative, scratch it out. I have a negative, scratch it out. What's left? A positive, so my sign for my answer is positive. Getting the hang of it? Good. We're going to practice this a lot in class. Make sure you are practicing it at home as well. And if you have any questions, ask me in class. Talk to you soon.